I think I gave it enough time to now officially give my grade for the Miami Dolphins 2022 free agency. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, it's been probably about 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks since free agency has started. So I thought this is more the back end of free agency. Signings are still going to happen, moves are still going to happen, but I feel like this is more than enough time for me to see what the Dolphins have done. And they've done a lot. And give my grade on free agency. We're going to look at who they've signed, who they've let go, and their cap space, and how they can get more cap space if needed, all that good stuff. Before we jump into all that, got a new patron, to new members. I got to shout you out. On the Patreon side, Rob Howell, thank you so much, brother, for joining the Patreon. Yes, I am going to start posting, I think today is the first video. A lot of you guys are hitting me up telling me you wanted to start doing your own YouTube channel, podcast, stuff like that, covering the Dolphins or covering anything. I'm starting a little mini series over on the Patreon, essentially showing you guys how I do what I do, cameras, microphones, ones you should get as starters, the ones I got, editing, shooting, everything. It might be like a 4 or 5 part series. So if you want to go over, check that out and join the Patreon. Again, don't ever feel like you need to. It's just something I'm adding to the guys on the Patreon for donating monthly. It means a lot to me. And on the member side, I have to shout out Josh Perry and Judah O'Neill. Thank you guys so much. You guys, as well as the member side, you guys are going to get your own special little videos and little perks as well. But thank you guys so much for joining the membership and the Patreon. Real quick, though, because I usually talk about Manscaped, but they got something really big coming up. So I'm going to promote them because they got a real cool fundraiser and stuff coming up that I'm going to start talking about real soon. But in the news, Bruce Arians retires, and he said it wasn't about his health. And I find that very interesting that Tom Brady comes back and Bruce Arians is retiring. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick before we started the free agent grade video, because him retiring is very interesting to me. But I'll move on from that. So yeah, right as of now here, I'll minimize myself, and we'll look at where we're at in cap space. So as of right now, the Miami Dolphins are sitting at 19th with 11.226, whatever, but essentially 11.2, round it, million. The most cap space right now is the Carolina Panthers, sitting at 30.8 million. Before we get into the grade, let me just tell you, we can literally jump up to 29th, second with 29 million. How, Doug? Well, again, the Dolphins are sitting at 11.2 million in cap space right now. If they trade Parker or designate Devontae Parker for a post-June 1st cut, if they restructure Xavier Howard, essentially give him the contract he wants, so restructure what he's getting this year, and cut Adam Shaheen and Sathan Carter, that would give the Dolphins 18 million in cap space savings, essentially put them up to $29.2 million in cap space, second place to the Carolina Panthers. So again, if the Dolphins trade or designate Devontae Parker for a June 6th cut, I think because if they just cut him now, it's only a $3 million savings. But if it's a post-June 1st cut, it is $6 million savings. Restructuring X, I think, gets them another $6-7 million, and cutting Adam Shaheen and Carter essentially gets them more. So you get about 18 million in cap savings there, shooting you up to 29.2 million, and you still can go out and get Bobby Wagner and anyone else you want to get. JC Treader. Why did I say dyslexia? But that's what I just want to give you a little cap space tidbit. So now let's look at what the Dolphins have done when it came to free agency. So I'm going to talk about who they've signed that are not Dolphins, and then I will talk about who they signed that are Dolphins, brought them back. So Teron Armstead, they brought him in, left tackle from the New Orleans Saints, a 5-year, $75 million contract. It's only essentially a 2-year contract if we look at it, because year 3 has the out. Or no, it's a 3-year contract because after year 3, you have the out there. We have Cedric Wilson, wide receiver from Dallas, 3 years, $22 million. It's essentially a potential out after the second year again. So it's 2-year contract or a 1-year contract. Connor Williams, guard from Dallas, 2 years, $14 million. Essentially a 1-year deal there. Keon Crossan, cornerback from the New York Giants, very good special teamer. I didn't talk much about him, but he's a very good thumper special teamer. 3 years, $9.4 million. And again, there's all. I'm not reading the whole caps. I'm going to read the point. I'm going to round it up. So actually, it's $9.5 million. If you want to get critical, it's a 1-year deal. Essentially, they have the out after 1 year. Alec Ingold. No, I am not sorry. I said I'll talk about them next. Alec Ingold from Las Vegas, bring him in 2 years, $6.5 million, since essentially a 1-year deal. Love. That's probably my favorite signing we've done so far. Teddy Bridgewater, backup quarterbacks from the Denver Broncos, 1 year, $6.5 million. Could go up to more if he gets more play time. Raheem Mostert from the San Francisco 49ers, 1 year, $2.1 million. I said Chase Edmonds, didn't I? If I didn't, Chase Edmonds. I don't know why I didn't say him. 2 year, $12 million. It's essentially a 1-year deal because they have the out after the first year. I think I got everyone that we've signed outside. Now, people we have brought back. Durham Smythe, 2 years, $7 million. Essentially a 1-year deal. Brennan Scarlett, 1-year deal, $1.2 million. That's it. But there's more that we brought back that they don't have on there. So let me bring myself back up so I could talk to you guys about who else they brought back. So these are the guys they brought back, right? Brennan Scarlett, I already talked about. Durham Smythe, Sheldrick Redwine, the safety we brought back. Landon Roberts, middle linebacker we brought back. Sam McGuavin, Duke Riley, Emmanuel Ogba, brought him back on a fantastic contract. Preston Williams, brought him back. Nick Needham, a second-round tender. Savon Ahmed, Elijah Campbell, and of course Mike Gesicki getting the franchise tag. And we lost some players. I'm going to minimize myself again. We lost some players. Jacoby Brissett went to Cleveland. I think we got a huge upgrade. Teddy Bridgewater over Jacoby Brissett. Duke Johnson, unfortunately, goes to Buffalo. Greg Maines goes to Buffalo. Justin Coleman goes to Seattle. He was a good nickel corner at times. Jesse Davis, good for him, signs with Minnesota, but he just wasn't working out for us here. These are guys that are still out there, haven't either re-signed or they haven't signed with the team yet. Will Fuller, I honestly think Will Fuller, I think his finger's pretty bad, so that's probably why he hasn't signed with anyone. We cut Alan Hearns. Philip Lindsay's still out there. Albert Wilson, Malcolm Brown, Michael Pilardi. I could see the Dolphins drafting a punter. I'd love for him to go after, I'm not even going to try to butcher his name, but you know the punter I'm talking about. Jason McCourty's still out there. John Jenkins, Trill Williams are still out there. I could have swore the Dolphins brought back Trill Williams, or at least tendered him. But in a whole, looking at what the Miami Dolphins did, right? When free agency started, we were very apprehensive. Chris Grier came out in his press conference and essentially said that they're going to be aggressive, right? In the first few days, we brought back Emmanuel Ogba right before free agency started. We tagged Gesicki even before any of that started. Then we go out, we get Connor Williams, we get Raheem Mostert, we get Chase Edmonds, we get Cedric Wilson Jr., Alec Ingold. Alec Ingold was my favorite signing at the time. Still actually is my favorite signing. I think he's going to do some really big things. But that was it, right? And then there was a lot of signing our own guys back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We signed 10 of our own guys back when we brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we re-signed 10 of our own guys, but we go out and sign 6 free agents. So again, there was that aggression talk from Chris Grier, but all you really did was bring back guys that were already on the team. And no knock on Brent Scarlett or Landon Roberts, Sam McGuavin, Duke Riley, any of those guys. But they're not. To me, that wasn't aggression, right? To a lot of people, that wasn't aggression. There was a lot of Dolphin fans that were getting very impatient, right? Then they go out and they get Teron Armstead finally, and then they make the trade to get Tyreek Hill. And that really changed a lot of people's perspective and thought process of when Chris Grier came out and said, I'm going to be aggressive. because we were like, where is it? And then there it is. And you heard from Chris Greer at the annual NFL meeting that he was in talks to try to trade for Tyreek Hill the Friday after free agency. So free agency started that Wednesday the 16th. The Friday after that, so a day later, he was in talks to try to get Tyreek Hill behind the scenes. So he was. And a lot of people were saying that. We don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. We only know this, and that. And they were 100% right, because he was being aggressive. It just wasn't known. And the fact that they were going for Tyreek Hill since the Friday, right? So again, free agency started Wednesday, Thursday, that Friday. So for about 10 days, give or take, 7 days, I'm dumb, give or take, he was going after Tyreek Hill. And then it was known to the media, Dolphins, Jets, and then an hour later, he signs for him. That was so hush-hush. Nobody, and I had nobody. I have friends who have sources inside the building. We all know of Twitter people who are like, oh, this and that. Nobody knew of the Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins. No one knew of the Dolphins being in talks to get Tyreek Hill. So there probably is, as of right now, moves trying to be made or things trying to happen that no one knows. Not even people with sources. Because that Tyreek Hill move, no one saw that coming. The other moves, people saw coming. A lot of people were saying the Dolphins are big on Teron Armstead. A lot of people are saying, hey, don't be... I even said Raheem Mostert, don't be surprised with that. Just the familiarity with him and Mike McDaniel. But looking at the free agency in a whole, at first, before they went out and got Tyreek Hill and Teron Armstead, I gave it a good B+, right? I thought it was very solid. Alec Ingold, Connor Williams, Teddy Bridgewater, Chase Edmonds, Cedric Wilson, Raheem Mostert. I thought very solid. I do like bringing back Emmanuel Ogbah and Gesicki. Those were two of my guys I really wanted to re-sign. Everyone else was kind of, okay, that's not bad. Nick Needham, I was happy they tendered him. I did not like that they brought back Preston Williams but let Mac Hollins go to Vegas. That bothered me because Mac Hollins is probably never going to see the field, which means the Dolphins didn't even offer or give Mac Hollins an opportunity to stay on this team because he is probably not going to be a starter for Las Vegas. Mac Hollins is a huge contributor to special teams, right? So the fact that they bring back Preston Williams and let Mac Hollins go, it's like, because Mac Hollins was reliable. Preston Williams was not. So that was the only thing that rubbed me the wrong way. Everyone else, like Duke Johnson going to Buffalo, it sucks, but Duke Johnson, in my opinion, doesn't really fit this offense. Phillip Lindsay, on the other hand, probably does fit this offense, but I think the Dolphins are okay at running back right now. Might still add somebody down the line. But I give it a solid A, right? I'm not going to give it an A+. If they go out and get J.C. Treader, then I'll give it an A+. But to me, what they did right now is a solid A. They really did try to build the best with the offensive line, having a new left tackle and a new left guard. I don't know what's going on at center, and I'm hearing they're going to have a competition at right tackle between Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg. So, like that. Wide receiving room is completely different. Well, not completely, but it's a huge upgrade. Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson Jr., then you have Waddle, Devontae Parker. We'll see if he stays or not. Really, and then, Preston Williams, but the man's got to stay healthy. Bringing back Durham Smythe, bringing back Gesicki really helps out the tight end room as well. Shaheen and Hunter Long really like that. Quarterback, running back. I think that the offense got much better than it was last year if it all pans out. Again, we're all just going off of the paper. We haven't seen anything. So that's why I'm giving it a solid A. I would like a center addition and middle linebacker. To me now, the biggest, and I'm still going to do this when I think I did it like in the middle of free agency or towards closer to the season, but I'm still going to talk about areas of the team that need to step up. And to me last year, the biggest scare and the biggest thing that worried me going into the season was the wide receivers and the offensive line. And what happened? The wide receivers and the offensive line were besides Jalen Waddle, there was no one really on the wide receiving core that helped. The offensive line was garbage. For me now, as of right now, today, the area that worries me the most is the linebacking core. I don't think we have a true middle linebacker. Now, you have Brendan Scarlett, you have Landon Roberts, you have these Duke Riley, you have these guys that are good, reliable, but we don't have that starter star middle linebacker. And you're not going to get one in the third round. So unless the Dolphins make a move to get back into the second or first round, you're not going to get that star middle linebacker that can plug in and play right now. So that's why I give it an A. As of right now, I give it an A. He went from a B+ because I really like the Alec Ingold move. I really like the Connor Williams. I like bringing in Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a way better backup than Jacoby Brissett. I love your running backs they brought in, wide receivers, all that stuff. And then they go Teron Armstead and Tyreek Hill. Really solidify that. I give it an A, solid A. They can get that A+ if they either address the linebacker core, the middle linebacker, or they give me another offensive lineman, whether it's JC Treader, CJ? You'll let me know in the comment section. Or right tackle. Or bring me a middle linebacker. Then you get an A+. But as of right now, it's a very solid A. I think they did fantastic. I don't think they went overboard. And in the past, they've gone overboard. Dominican Sue, Mike Wallace, Carlos Dansby, Barnett. A lot of these moves were big, splashy moves, and the cap space and the dead cap from it were just bad. This one's good, right? The only one that's like crazy town is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, which for some reason they don't have listed on there, is big. It's a big contract. Other than that, Teron Armstead, 3 years. Cedric Wilson's essentially a 2-year deal. Connor Williams is a 1. Chase Edmonds is a 1. Alec Ingold is a 1. Very smart. Very, very smart contract. So I'm really liking what they did. So again, solid A, can go up with more moves. But comment below. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this free agency so far? Is there moves that you want to see happen? Is there moves that, are in the works that potentially, and again, Tyrann Mathieu is not coming. Chris Greer already said that. Was there a deal in place? Was there conversations in place? He never said that it wasn't. He just said, no, it's not happening now. He might not have liked the contract they offered him. Again, from what I'm hearing, they wanted him to play more of the in-the-box safety, kind of help with that middle linebacker role, and he probably didn't want to. And he probably didn't want to at the price that they were going to offer him, and they were like, all right, that's not a problem. So comment below. Let me know. Is there anyone out there you want them to get that they haven't? And what are your grades? But on that, guys, like usual, stay classy. Up in top.